Requirements play a role throughout the project lifecycle, from high-level epics and themes to more detailed user stories. But what exactly are they? A requirement, at its simplest, is a service function or feature that someone needs. Defining these in detail too early in a project can be both restrictive and wasteful. Requirements can change over time, and new ones can emerge as projects move through the lifecycle. DSDM suggests that requirements should be captured early, at a high level, leaving finer details to emerge later on, usually when the project reaches the evolutionary development phase. An example of a requirement might be that, in a training organization, a training manager needs to be able to schedule training courses and reserve rooms in order to teach courses effectively. Let's consider another example, that of a custom-built car. The requirements for this product would be feature-based, such as a maintainable steering capability and a comfortable place to sit. An engine, a steering wheel and leather seats, on the other hand, are not requirements, these are solutions. Requirements should be expressed in a manner that avoids pigeonholing a specific solution for as long as possible. Landing on a solution too early in the project reduces flexibility. Requirements should be expressed as what needs to be achieved rather than the specific thing that will deliver that need. For example, a means of propulsion versus an engine. Let's move on to discuss categories of requirement now. There are 4 broad areas, and these are general business requirements, technical policy requirements, functional requirements, and non-functional requirements. The first 2 categories are company-wide and impact all projects. Functional and non-functional requirements relate to specific project solutions. Let's look at these groups in more detail. General business requirements are the rules that all projects must adhere to, such as legal constraints or business policies. Technical policy requirements, then, are the technical standards that any proposed solution must adhere to, for example, service strategy and design. Functional requirements denote the features of a product or service framed by what it will do to the business. An example of this might be visit customer site. The requirement doesn't refer to the how aspect. If it did, it would look like this. Drive to the customer site, which is a possible solution. Fly to the customer site is another. Stating requirements by focusing on the what, not the how, leaves plenty of room for flexibility and innovation. Non-functional requirements define how well or to what level performance should be provided. This kind of requirement has 2 levels, solution and requirement. The solution level describes the attributes such as reliability, availability, and response times, which are reflected in the acceptance criteria. An example of this might be responds within 2 seconds. The solution also looks at the bigger picture, such as network support, training, and the impact on a group of functional requirements. For example, all customer-facing functionality should have a response time of 2 seconds. The requirement level has a more specific relationship to a functional requirement. For example, the customer database needs to be secure, how a feature needs to look, work, and be usable to the business, and its own acceptance criteria, which incorporates the measurable criteria for confirmation.